freedom and liberation, reminding us that we are whole and holy, we are loved beyond all measure, and in our refusal to accept anything less, may we know we are rooted in the infinite divinity, not regulated to the outskirts of the web of all existence, but enshrined at its core, enfleshed with stardust and fairy dust, an intentional creation of space where our many gods live.
Good morning. The opening words come from the poem Will by Ella Wheeler Wilcox. There is no chance, no destiny, no fate that can hinder or control the firm resolve of a determined soul. Gifts count for nothing. Will alone is great. All things give way before it, sooner or late. What obstacle can stay the mighty force of a sea-seeking river in its course, or cause the ascending orb of day to wait? Each well-born soul must win what it deserves. Let the fool prate of luck. The fortunate is he who earnest purpose never swerves, whose slightest action or inaction serves the one great aim. Why, even death stands still and waits an hour sometimes for such a will.
Thank you, Sue. We are reminded to push forward with purpose and to shape our lives with conviction. With this resolve, we come together today to affirm the covenant that guides our shared life as a community. Let us now rise as we are willing and able and recite the words that bind us in our collective commitment. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is its prayer. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Thank you.
Where's Papa? There he is.
Yay, we found Papa. Good, that is important. So sharing our joys and concerns and being here together speaks to the power of our collective will as a community. It is through our shared determination to stand by one another, to ensure that every voice is heard and valued, that we create a community that is strong and resilient in the face of any challenge. So let's take some time now to briefly share the milestones and challenges and celebrations of our lives, but also be mindful to keep our sharing respectful of privacy and free of announcements. And if you are in the sanctuary, please come on up to the altar or raise your hand if you need me to come take the mic to you. And if you are on Zoom today, please share in the chat function so I can read your thoughts at the end. Come with me, Zoom friends. Who would like to begin?
I'm going to be a microphone hog today. I'm Sandy Ketro, and I just wanted to say that I'm very happy that, so this is a stone of joy, right? The fun red color. My spouse Mary is here today celebrating her birthday. And it's it's also her oldest sister, Susie's birthday today, so they celebrate that together. So I'm very happy.
Hi, I'm Sarah Dinklage, and this is a joy. This is a stone of joy. My son and his husband have begun the adoption process, and they have their first home study, and it's, you know, it's just a joy, and that they can do this, and they live in Massachusetts. There's no federal funding attached to their adoption agency, so.
Good morning, I'm Elizabeth Carter, and I'm just going to drop a stone in for all the people who are struggling with challenges right now.
Hi, my name is Susan Straub, and I just wanted to drop this stone. 2 weeks ago, we had a celebration of life for my husband who died on Christmas Eve. And it was a wonderful celebration. People told stories. It was really beautiful. And it's been, I guess it's 3 months since he passed away. I miss him very much, but I'm doing as well as can be expected. Thanks.
Hi, it's Sally Barney. I have a joy. My dear friends Carol Reinert and Dan Duncan, their daughter Lanny is...
As Unitarian Universalists, we know that hope isn't just something we feel. It's something we do. Justice doesn't happen by wishing it. It happens when we show up, give what we can, and put our values into action. So let's put our will to work, because a better world won't build itself, but together we just might. This morning offering will now begin.
Told you I was going to be.
Communities often distrust research teams due to historical mistreatment. We needed someone who could champion this work, rather than us speaking on behalf of what we believed was best. And I'll tell you, advocates are not few and far in between. There are hundreds of transgender, non-binary, and gender-diverse policymakers, researchers, and advocates who are but one click away and wanting to aid and give knowledge in such work. So after my preliminary work with the team, I made the decision to step away and let a community advocate and champion take my place, get paid for the work they deserve to get paid for. That choice was necessary, and it's one I don't regret, and it's still one I continue to reflect on to this day. As a cisgender researcher, I must constantly reflect on my privilege and act on that reflection, not just in theory, but in practice. By stepping aside when necessary and ensuring the voices of those most impacted are at the table. It's an uncomfortable truth about my own privilege, but it's a truth that I and we must face if we're to create real change. Allyship is not about guilt. It's about responsibility. It's about using what privilege we do have to dismantle the very systems that uphold it. And this is where reflexivity comes in. The practice of continuously, over and over again, examining our own place in systems of power and oppression. So I ask all of us here today to reflect. How has my identity shielded me from the discrimination others face? In what ways have I benefited from systems that harm marginalized communities? Am I truly listening to transgender, non-binary, and gender-diverse folks? Or am I making assumptions about what they need? Am I amplifying their voices, or am I speaking over them? Importantly, one of the most common mistakes people make in their journey to allyship is expecting marginalized individuals to be their personal educators. In my story, it's really important that I highlight on one end there are experts in transgender, non-binary, and gender-diverse health who hold roles in research, policy, that can speak to such issues and want to give expertise and insight. On the other end, just because someone holds a marginalized identity does not mean it is on their plate to educate those in power. Too often we put the burden of education on the very people experiencing oppression. Too often we expect transgender, non-binary, and gender-diverse individuals to explain their existence, to justify their rights, and to guide us through our own learning. That's not allyship, that's entitlement. We must ask ourselves, how often have I turned to my gender-diverse friend or family member and asked them to explain something I could have Googled? Have I expected marginalized people to relive trauma just so I can understand better? Have I assumed that my comfort in learning is more important than their exhaustion in teaching? So instead of demanding emotional labor, we must educate ourselves. And there are countless books, articles, documentaries, and advocacy organizations doing this work every day, all which happen to be one click away. Learning is our responsibility, our burden to carry. Because real allyship isn't about saying I support you, it's about proving it. And if there was ever a time to prove it, it is now, as neutrality is an inaction within itself. As Unitarian Universalists, we are called to engage in ongoing discussions around justice. One of our major principles. Justice isn't just a concept that we embrace in theory. It's a responsibility that requires action and accountability. It's about sitting with the discomfort of the privileges we hold, acknowledging that those privileges shape our world and the experiences of others. Allyship means sitting in that discomfort, asking yourself why you feel uncomfortable, and being honest with yourself about your role in perpetuating systems of inequality. Justice means standing side by side with marginalized communities, amplifying their voices, and actively working to dismantle the systems of oppression that hold everyone back. And that brings me to my final question for you today. How can I not just be an ally, but be an accomplice? Allies say they support the cause. Accomplices put their bodies, voices, and resources on the line. Allies might be present, accomplices are engaged. Right now, what we need is not just allies who care in theory, but accomplices who act in practice. Practice reflexivity. Sit in that uncomfortability. Reflect about your identities and respond with meaningful present action. What we're up against is relentless. And if our transgender, non-binary, and gender-diverse folks do not have the option to opt out of this fight, neither should we. Tomorrow, as we celebrate International Transgender Day of Visibility, let's truly celebrate gender-diverse individuals by committing to the actions of protecting, affirming, and uplifting. Because allyship is not an identity, it is not a moment. Allyship is a verb, and it's time to act. And action is how we build and solidify trust in our commitment to justice. Now, let's stand together and open our gray hymnal to hymn number 170. We are a gentle, angry people. Please know that we're singing verses 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. So one more time. 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. And for line 5, instead of singing "We Are Gay and Straight Together," the choir will be singing "We Are Gender Diverse People." And no worries, if you get lost, just follow the choir.
Gentle and
words today come from a quote from Rachel Crandall, the creator of Transgender Day of Visibility. She stated in 2021 Them magazine interview, and I quote, "I read an article, one by a prominent activist, who said that it is not transgender people who need to be visible right now, so much as our allies." And I really agree with that fact. In fact, I would like to use this article as a chance to challenge everyone who does Visibility Day events to also focus on allies and the ways we can get allies to come out, because I really believe it is the coming out process for them. It's easy to call yourself an ally. However, to really get out there for us, speak up for us, to write letters and educate your friends, that is something else. And that is what we really need to focus on. That's the only way we're really going to change anything. If it's only us saying that things need to change, almost nothing will happen.
We extinguish this chalice, but not its light, that we take with us out into the world, sharing it with those we encounter on our journey. And now, let's stand up as we're willing and able. Let's form a circle. Let's hold hands as we sing out our closing song together. I'll get that in a second.